I'm so good. Speaker view. No, we want gallery view. What's up? Oh my God, this is so fun and amazing. I've never done this before.
Yeah, I noticed it yesterday and started calculating the hours and thought that, no, wait a minute, that should work. That should work.
I know. I was like, I'm not doing the time zone thing. I'll do Pacific time and that's it. Everyone else gets to handle it themselves.
Has it worked out?
Has what worked out?
This whole the thing that you tried?
I'm just doing it right now. You're the first one here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm the first one. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm right on time.
It's 11 a.m. on the dot. You were here before me. Way to make me look bad. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay. I'm super busy. I'm actually waiting for my tenants to come check out the apartment.
Well, cool.
And I just happened to see your post a second time. I figured, oh well, I'll just press and see what happens. But I thought I was too late. But I guess
it's perfect timing.
Perfect.
So I'm going to post this after. So you're going to be famous. Duh.
No way!
More famous. More famous.
Not impossible.
So the idea of the format is to like just ask me a question, and if I'm willing to answer it, I will. And if I have an answer, it's totally off the cuff, unprepared. So do you have any questions for me?
Actually, I would like to know how this works out because I think I'm going to be using the same system.
You know, I've seen other people do this, and I think it just is really a cool format because it doesn't take preparation. It's really just organic, you know, like you just get into a conversation. So it's not something that I need to be like, oh, I have to prepare and do a million things for and stuff like that. It's more just like giving advice and trying to add value. And if people do it, they do it. And if they don't, they don't. And the value that is created is cool. And there's really like no loss to it other than just the time spent, which isn't a loss at all because it's still, there's a learning process going on. But yeah, like I follow Peter Shankman. He's awesome. If you don't follow him, you should. He's done these before. I've seen other people as a part of the mastermind that I'm a part of. They do it. And I just never have made the effort. So now I was like, oh, I think I have time and space. Let's make the effort and see if I can add some value. That's really the goal.
Cool. Can you have more than one people on? Can you have like...
Yeah, I can have 50 people on.
Oh, cool.
Only because I've paid to like up the Zoom. And I love, out of all of the video conferencing softwares that I've tried over the whatever, this, in my personal opinion, Zoom is the best by far. Super easy to record the calls, super easy to see, like connection wise, I feel like it's been the best. I've used Fuse, I've used Skype, I've used FaceTime, obviously. What else? I feel like there's other ones that I'm forgetting, but clearly they were not memorable. So yeah, my advice would be Zoom software, no doubt.
Cool.
Yeah. What are you going to use it for? What's your intent?
Like online courses.
Okay. And for what though? For school?
Yeah, for school. So I'm going to have a class of 25 students and they're going to have assignments that they do online. And then I need to check up on them on like face-to-face conversations
like this,
yeah.
It's awesome.
I
mean, modern technology makes it all possible, like it's and it's funny, that's I think a cool interesting distinction is that like modern technology makes not having to be in person possible. Like how awesome. If for people who don't know, Kim is in Finland, right? Are you in Finland right now?
Yes.
I love it. Notice I didn't even know where you were. You could have been somewhere else.
Yeah.
Who knows? But like, how amazing is this? Like we can connect in a more real way, but it doesn't, and I would definitely not advise it because I think it can also really take over the in-person stuff. Like, and then you find yourself relatively isolated where you're like, wait, I'm not seeing anyone. So it's like you have to equally make the effort to see people in person. Not that you're saying that you do that, but just as something I've noticed, given I really am an advocate of this type of meeting, it's like I've also recently made a very big effort to like, I'm going to make plans, I'm going to see people in person and like make sure that I'm, maintaining in-person connections as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So have you done your jump already?
Saturday. Woo!
Saturday, no way.
I'm excited. Hopefully the weather holds.
Right.
That's a whole different thing. I will not expand on that here because I want to save that as something that I'm going to definitely share about very decidedly and deliberately as it occurs or after it occurs, sort of document the whole experience. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to share that a lot, actually.
Yeah, you've had a long break.
I know. It's been good, though. I feel like that's an experience to have it from the skydiving perspective. That's an experience to have over a long-term career. I feel like I'm a baby still. There's so many people I know that have many, many years in the sport, way more jumps than me, and they've taken multiple breaks that have been years at a time. So I feel like I'm sort of almost a youngster in taking my first over a year break. Cool. So let me see. Actually, you ask like how this is working. I totally need to pull up the Facebook post and see who asked some questions, if there's any questions on the post that I put, because that.
What happens if I raise my hand?
I don't know how to, I need to learn how to do that. Okay. So Drew Dibble, he asks, what can we really do? What can we do to really help us get into that productive zone? What can we really do to help us get into that productive zone? Okay, so that's a fairly general question, but like if we're talking about productivity, what would I say to that? Well, I would say I did a video on how to get unstuck the other day, which I'll post in the comments actually when I share this video. I think a productivity zone is if it's just like I know what to do and I'm sitting here and I'm just like kind of not motivated. I always encourage like getting up, actually physically, literally moving to just shake up the brain and get it out of that sort of rut of how it's approaching whatever it's trying to be productive on. That stuckness can be shaken up by just literally changing the environment or getting a little bit of endorphins through your body or whatever. If it's something like you're not sure what the goal is or you have a specific goal that you are, I don't know, maybe not that motivated around in general, I would almost encourage an evaluation of that goal and go, well, why aren't you motivated? Do some inquiry. Are you blocked by fear? Are you blocked by, fear of judgment? Are you blocked by it's just not what you want to do? Are you blocked by I don't know, perception of circumstances such that you won't be able to do it? Like there's so many mindset things around that can block us from getting into a productive zone. Like anything that has sort of a negative charge to it. And I mean anything, and I mean like mindset. So we have to be pretty vigilant in terms of mindset when it comes to generating energy that allows us to follow through on our goals. So it's like when we don't feel motivated, there's a reason for that. And I would encourage you to look for what that is. That is the most powerful piece of advice I think I have on productivity. But like the more just, I don't know, even like normal or I don't know, action items is like get up, move around, change your location. For example, I just had a meeting with my assistant this morning and I've been trying to fill out this, moving forward on a TEDx application because I want to do a TED Talk. And it was really hard for me to generate the creative energy to write it because I'm like, I want to be perfect. Oh, the answers, it has to be so good. I don't really know or not 100% clear on my talk. Like what would I actually say? Trying to put it all in my brain all at once. So that's a clear, energetic, creative block. So what I noted is that I've traveled recently. I went on a trip to Texas and on commercial jets, I find I am very, very creatively productive. And it's like, why is that? For me, it's because I feel really free when I'm traveling. I just love and just am really filled and happy in that experience. So that releases me from maybe other negative thoughts or charges. And that makes me feel more creative. Secondly, I am disconnected from the internet. like on a commercial jet. I never get the go-go in flight because I use that time to be separated from the constant connection that oddly modern technology gives us. So that is not to say that you need to do that, but to say that that's something that works for me. And I've noted in my life, like, where is it and when is it when I'm really productive? And for me, I'm talking creatively as a writer. It's a notable thing. What else? There's more to say, but anyway, Kim, I love that you're kind of the only one. You're just kind of walking around over there. That's hilarious. Let's see if anyone else has posted anything. So funny. You've got to have another question for me. What do you think people would want to know from me? Where are you?
Are you talking to me now?
Yeah, I'm talking to you now.
Oh, sorry.
Given you're here, given you're the one I can engage with, given we're hanging out, what would you think people would want to know from me? What's a question you think that if I answered would be of use to people who watch this after the fact?
I don't know how to kind of make shit happen.
How to make shit happen? What do you mean?
No, we had a class today. We had what do you call it in English? But basically some training, and it was a Finnish girl who was a trainer, and she was actually very much like you, which is weird. You know how the things are, but she was very much like you.
Cool.
And her way to just make you feel welcome when we started the class was I actually started laughing because it was so out of the ordinary.
For Finnish people.
Yeah. She actually looked me in the eye and looked super happy and said, "I'm so happy that you're here." And that just felt really weird. It reminded me of your way to
just so that you guys have a little bit of background on this this comedy that you're witnessing between Kim and myself at this moment, is that I organized at a boogie in Finland back in the day now, geez, and showed up into a culture I did not really know anything about as my normal self, similar to this girl that Kim's describing. I'm fairly positive and outgoing, and definitely genuinely happy to meet people and connect and help them go skydiving or whatever. So it was a funny thing because I literally was like, nobody was responding. And it's not that I needed them to respond. It's that I was genuinely confused. I'm like organizing a skydive. I thought I'd come up with something really cool. And I'm like, we'll do this and we'll do that. And then we'll do this and it'll be fun for these reasons. Oh my God. Yay. Awesomeness. Nothing. Like fucking crickets, like blank faces. And I'm like, guys, give me something. Like, is this like the best idea you've ever heard? Do you think it's like complete crap and we have to do something else? Like, tell me anything, something. Finally, eventually they believed me that I was a real person and not a total fake.
It took a while though.
Yeah, I know.
It took a while.
So what's the question about the girl? Like, what is the question that you actually are asking?
I didn't really have a question.
Cool. I love that I'm making you be the question asker.
Yeah.
Hey, you shut up. You jumped into the lion's den, my friend.
Yeah. No,
How do you make things happen? I don't know. I feel like I'd need more information. Like, how do you make things happen? I think an answer to that is you decide. Again, I talk a lot about mindset, but like, we can be really driven by mindset or we can be really blocked by mindset. And if I think about people who I know that kick ass, they tend to approach the things that they choose to do with a fierceness and a decidedness. Like they just say, or they don't even say it. They just are like, this is what I'm doing. And then they take the actions to get them there. You know, it's easy to, I mean, that's what separates people from people who achieve goals or do more in their lives, is that they don't let adversity stop them. Like adversity becomes opportunity, I would say. So like, okay, this is really hard, but it doesn't matter because I'm committed to this goal, or I'm committed to this end, or this path at the very least. I don't know. Have a support system also, not just mindset. Like sometimes it is difficult. So you need people to back you up, to support you, to talk through challenges, stuff like that. I love it. You're hanging in your kitchen. This is hysterical.
The only place I can hang. The rest of the apartment is empty.
Or messy.
I'm moving out in 2 weeks.
Oh, you are? Cool. Where are you going?
I'm gonna go to Hungary, then to Sweden, and then to Amsterdam, and then I'm moving to Austria.
What? You are? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Why are you moving to Austria?
That's where my wife works.
I love that. Love her. She's so awesome. I know. I love you guys. Whatever. Love her. See, this is why. See, now you believe me. Now you can make fun of me and know that it's real. I think how long did it take me? How many years have we known each other?
It was 08, no? I think it was 08 when you came to Finland.
I think it was.
I think so.
I love it. So maybe I should ask you some questions.
Oh, yeah,
you stand up in front of people all the time, right? You are a professor, speaker, like you have to speak in front of people all the time, right?
Yeah.
So what helps you be at ease in front of as like a public speaker? Like what is something you would give, like, because I'm looking to speak more and I could totally use that advice. And I would say, hey, I've got an expert on the line here. Might as well extract some value from you.
Well, when I started, it was super important to just know the facts and to be really well prepared.
Cool.
And nowadays, I've noticed that I really need the PowerPoint.
Okay. Meaning why do you need the PowerPoints? Like, is it because you're teaching such a specific thing or because you forget your way? Like, why?
I think it's just to have some kind of a structure of what I'm about to say. So it doesn't but it needs to be something, just a sentence, a picture, or a symbol or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything complicated or a lot of it, but I need to have those slides and those sentences or pictures to keep me on track.
Yeah, like the overall structure. It is easy. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's when I feel comfortable. But then as soon as, something happens with the computer and I lose that and I'm like, ooh, so then what? And notice that I really lose it because I'm so used to having when I talk, I'm so used to having the PowerPoint in front of me when I do that. That's
so interesting that you bring that up because I've been taking this stand-up comedy class, which is not the same thing. I'm not teaching anything, but it's like a memorization thing more, I think, like a performance. But it's interesting that you bring that up because one thing I've really learned over the course of this class and just being up there, and I've spoken in front of people organically forever, for years. I'm really totally comfortable doing that when I don't have a plan. Like I'm really good when I have no plan. But when I have even some sense of a plan or something other than like skydiving, which I think it doesn't quite count because I'm, used to that, like you said. But the prep was has been so key for me. Like I totally lose it and then go rambly when I don't really do the work that makes it then look like I didn't have to do any work. Like it's like you have to do a ton of work to look like you didn't have to do any work.
I took one of those stand-up classes as well.
Did you? Oh my God, I would love to see Finnish stand-up comedy. Holy shit, that's hysterical in itself.
Mine wasn't that good.
Oh my God, I've been bombing every single week.
Oh yeah, me too.
So bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. I still wake up sweating You can see this.
It's so hysterical because it's so hard.
Yeah.
It is so much harder when you're like, your job is to get laughs versus like, oh, I'm just going to be covertly funny. Not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing, no. And yeah, I remember the teacher saying that, okay, I'm going to like, let's go through the simple steps and I just want you to do these steps and do the way I tell you to do them. And then once you know these steps, then you can start freeballing. You know, and this is what you always do, you know. How does the saying go that learn the rules, master the rules, and then break the rules? Well,
right.
I went straight to breaking the rules.
Me too.
And it did not work out.
It did not work out either. I love it. I think this is a very useful insight for people to watch this.
No, it's actually super good. And I think it has helped me a lot, the course. The kind of way to think has been super good.
Yeah, but having that structure. But yeah, knowing that you have to, it's like you have to go through it's I hate to use skydiving as a metaphor, but it's a perfect metaphor. It's like basic body position in skydiving. You know, and learning basic skills. You have to go through the like painful, technical, very conscious, very awkward phase where you're really thinking about, where's my knee? Am I saying X thing, or is it inside the structure of comedy? Like, am I giving my opinion on, you know, the funny story versus just telling the funny story? Like, where is my foot placed over my knee or under my knee or whatever? Like, knowing that stuff stinks. Like, having to work through that period where you have to be aware of all that is really tough, but that's what actually gets us to the place where we can then break the rules, because our knowingness of that structure is then inherent, or it becomes our default. And I think that's really interesting, because I think it really applies both conversationally, performance-wise, physicality, and sport performance. I think it's just across the board.
Yeah. How do you deal with the bombing? How do you deal with the bombing?
How do I deal with what?
When you completely mess it up on stage.
Oh, when I bomb in the comedy class in general, I laugh.
Oh.
I laugh. I mean, I'm seriously, like, it is a very notable thing that I find almost everything in life funny on some level. And I think it really comes from my core values of love and hilarity being what I think are the two most important things in life, in that order. And it's funny because it's not necessarily conscious, but I think it is similar to what we just said, a cultivated perception of life. Is it like, yeah, back in the day when I was a teenager freaking out about stuff, crying, wasn't seeing life as comedy. But I've really learned and cultivated that perception for myself, such that it really is how I see things. Like, I probably am really freaking annoying because I laugh at a lot of stuff, like most everything. Anyway, that's how I deal with the bombing. I find it hysterical, and then I use it as a launch pad for learning and improving.
I didn't feel bad at all when I failed. That was actually, as you said, it was funny. But afterwards, like way afterwards, like the next day, waking up sweating and just, that feeling, that was tough.
Well, I think it is one of those things where, if we're using the stand-up comedy as an example or a metaphor or whatever, just, I think that it gets you to the point where you have to be honest with yourself. Like, I had to be honest with myself that stand-up comedy is not what my current skill set is. Like, I might think I'm funny, and I might think I'm good at getting up on stage as an MC or something like that, or being an unprepared situation and being able to rattle off and be fucking hilarious and make jokes. But stand-up comedy was not that. I had to be honest and go, okay, I actually am going to have to do some work. Like, this is actually a thing that I need to learn, and I am not good at it. I am not funny in the way that this is meant to be funny. And that's okay. But it's like, once you actually acknowledge reality of that, and then actually commit to doing the work to improve that. That's what it took for me. Because I actually feel like my set is actually pretty funny now. I'm still super nervous to do it. I have no clue. I might bomb because I'm totally nervous and I'm attached to getting laughs. Like, I want people to laugh at my stuff. I hope they do. If they don't, whatever, I'll survive. But I feel like now that I've practiced and put in some work, I'm like, it's clear like that I'm learning the skill set. Not even close to being super good at it, but I now get the difference between what I thought it was versus what it actually is and what it actually takes to get there.
Right. How long is your set?
It's 5:40. Like, it's like almost 6 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Oh my God. Holy crap. I'm going to record it. Like, I'm going to record it. I said this in a video yesterday. I'm not committing to sharing it because I don't need any more pressure on myself. Like, I'm putting enough pressure on myself. The whole like stage hoping to get laughs is enough pressure. But if it is, you know, I can't even commit. Like, if it's funny, I'm sure I'll share it. But if it's not funny, I admit that I might not want to share myself bombing up there.
If it's not funny, that makes it kind of funny.
I know. But I can't commit. I can't commit to sharing it because that's too much pressure. I recognize my own limitations. And that's like, I want to set myself up for success. So it's like, that's the whole, if we're talking about adding value to other people, like, I know I'm going into a stressful thing where I'm attached to the outcome. I'm trying to detach, like, okay, I'll be fine if I bomb. I'm detaching from the outcome, detaching. But there's still a part of me that really wants to attach and it wants to be good at the thing that I'm doing. You know, that's completely normal, completely understandable. When we take on any goal, of course, I would like to think when we take on a goal, we want to be good at that and we want to do well. And so recognizing that attachment when it comes up and how it actually does a disservice to our performance. I remember a time on the women's vertical record in skydiving, a girl came to me and was like, is there anything that you can tell me to help me out or whatever? And I told her very plainly, I was like, you gotta not care. And I meant that not in the sense that you don't care, because of course you care. You're a part of a big team. You're trying to achieve this big goal of being a part of making history in our sport of skydiving and the whole thing. And it's a really wonderful thing to care about. So it's not from that perspective. It's from the individual perspective of attachment to that outcome of I have to be on this record. If we're super attached to that outcome, it like literally brings that like tension into our body. And again, this is not just in jumping out of airplanes. I think it applies across the board. So when we recognize that attachment and we practice detaching from it, we really practice mentally coming back from that. We get the ease back in our body and our performance actually is better. And the outcome that we want actually more likely. So it was sort of like saying to this girl, it sounds counterintuitive, but if you care less about, like, if you really let go of being on the record and you really let go of being perfect and all that stuff, that you're probably going to fly better and you're that much more likely to end up on it. Interesting. So stand-up comedy, I'm employing the same thing for myself.
No, yeah.
I bet you didn't expect to be like the primo person on this call, did you?
Oh, just press up. Okay, let's see what happens when I press this.
I love it. Let's see. We have a couple minutes left. Let me check the thing just in case someone posts a question. But again, I didn't give anybody any notice. I literally was like, screw it. I'm doing it because I feel like there's never a good time to do anything. You know, we can always just not do stuff. You know what I mean? Like we can say, oh, I'm traveling on Wednesday. Oh, my background won't be cool on Thursday. Or, oh, I've never done it. Oh, it's not far enough in advance to give people notice. Well, screw that. You know what? You showed up. We had an awesome talk. Hopefully people get some value out of watching our shit. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. You're right. Yeah, they will. I'm sure they will. I hope so. And then, it builds. It builds over time. That's kind of how I look at it. I love that we got to hang out. So awesome. Tell Uti I love her. Tell her she has to come next time.
Yeah, yeah. She was actually home for 4 days, so she went back to Graz on Monday.
I love it. Well, I'm gonna end the recording. So, team, if you're watching this, cool. Drop me a question below, whatever, however this is posted. And thank you for everything.